Hello, we are live. Oh my God. I'm just so excited. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are joining here, me live together, say hello in the comment section. Let me see. Sometimes the lives are not always working with the comments flow, and I would love to connect with you. If you are entirely new over here, maybe you're watching a replay, put some emoji in the comments so I know. My name is Eliza Mozal. I am an energy mastery mentor, and I am absolutely passionate about supporting other creatives with stepping into their soul mission and creating their soul life. Poonam, it is so amazing to see you. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How are you doing, love? And please interact with me together through the length of that training. This is how the energy flows. This is how we get to also connect. And even if you're watching a replay, put in the comments, black and white, how is that actually affecting you? Victoria, hello, hello, hello. How are you feeling? How is your beautiful heart? So soul love. Soul love is that special connection between the souls that it is designed for us to grow together. Hi, hello, hello, hello. That it is designed for us to grow together, for two souls to support each other and also trigger one another into expansion and a higher way of growing. The specific type of relationships, Rahema, hello, hello, hello. So happy to see you all here. The specific relationship that I will be talking about to support you on your path is the soul love romantic relationship. We are talking about meeting the one, and I'll be sharing with you my journey also, so you can learn the things that you don't have to repeat those mistakes. I will share with you also the most common mistakes. I have written them down here that people are making over and over again. We are going to be talking a lot about energies, taking actions, and the frequency and the core issue. I will not be talking here about the surface level stuff, going into dating app, post 3 times a week, swipe left, swipe right. This is not what we are talking about. We are talking about your soul, setting yourself, setting your soul on fire because you have decided that it is your turn. It is your turn to step into a whole another level on your journey and your relationships. And this training, this life is absolutely amazing for those who are desiring to meet your soul love. You desire to meet your soul love, and or you are in a relationship that it isn't maybe all on fire and sparked up, and you would love to take notes so you can reignite the fire and the passion within your relationship one more time and, go and have the best time ever. So we are going to start today with where is the note? Where is the note? Oh, I'm prepared with quite actually giant amount of notes over here. And definitely I don't want to overload you with information you don't need. But this is one of those in-depth, huge, giant training that it will be good for you to grab a pen and paper. Either you're going to do it right now or on repeat. I'm definitely going to also encourage you to listen to it with your full-on heart open. There is always this side of ourselves, at least it's happening for me. If I'm not opening my heart to learn something, my ego is gonna take over. My old self doesn't want to die, it doesn't want to go away, so it will convince me that something here is not for me, that I should do it another time, that there is tomorrow, that it is guaranteed, and I can go and do and wash the dishes, watch Love Island or something else, and I will deal with that some another time, and still hoping and wishing things will change despite me not taking action, okay? So I'm going to invite you to open your heart, love yourself in this present moment, take a deep, beautiful breath, and allow yourself also to use discernment. I'm going to put here quite a lot of don'ts, quite a lot of things that I know people are doing. I myself did it in the past, unknowingly to me, and I know people are doing unconsciously, blindly. and I'm going to encourage you to open your heart, to allow yourself just to ask this question. Perhaps this is in my energy field, and that's exactly what's blocking my dream man or my dream woman or my dream desired person from showing up. Okay, loves. So I'm going to share with you that I am myself the person who, since I actually signed up for the first coaching program that would support me on my coaching journey as a coach, as a healer, as a mentor, I was told from day one, oh my God, Eliza, you should do relationships. Relationships is, the way you are talking about relationships is absolutely unusual, unique, and in-depth. You should be doing relationships. And I never did. I never felt that internal call. There was lots of fear, lots of things to clean up for myself in my relationships, and I have decided, no, I'm not gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it when I feel called. And that call came at the end of last year. That call came very strongly, and I was able to see where the fear is holding me back from doing this, and where is actually something I need to tidy up. And I had a big giant conversation with my higher power. I had a big internal work, and there is more and more stuff showing up in my relationships, so I can bring this training, so I can bring what's coming from the highest possible frequency, so that higher power can flow through my channel and bring the best possible energy without me bringing into the container some stuff that it isn't the purest from my own channel. Now, I'm gonna reassure you, my relationships are not perfect, I'm not perfect, and I am not striving for perfection. But they are definitely passionate, loving, lasting, and absolutely phenomenal. I met the love of my life, I met my soul love after being single for 8 years. Yes, most of my 30s, I spent being single, and most of that time, over 6.5 years, was in a deep healing process, and I will talk about it over here so you can use it, not by wasting or investing 6 years of your life, but maybe in 6 days, maybe in 6 weeks, maybe in 6 months, depending on where you are yourself at, and also how free do you want to be, how much full on you will allow yourself to go into this. Okay, so I'm delivering the highest possible frequency, but it is on you what you're actually going to do about it, how you are actually going to use this magnificent opportunity to change things for yourself, for your life, for your beautiful journey going forth from this now on moment. In fact, the way you are showing up right now for this life, for this training, also tells me everything. How are you going to use this content? Because if you're showing up slouchy, I don't care, whatever, let me see what's there, you're not showing up from your wholeness. You're showing up from give it to me something I don't have. And I want to reassure you that that's not how things are, because you already have within you everything it takes. And if you are not fully connected and actively using that flow of divine genius that is within you, then yes, perhaps you require support to help you step into taking full on responsibility for your results and no results, for how you feel and how you don't feel, for who you have in your life and who you don't have in your life, for what is your energetic and electromagnetic field filled up with, and what is it not inside. And let me know, guys, if that makes sense. How is that actually landing for you here in the comment section? And here we go. So I felt, I'm going to break down very quickly, the first year and a half, and this is something I was crying over yesterday morning. This is something I was like, oh my God, I feel called to share this, and I'm scared and terrified. Oh, I feel emotional. So in the first year and a half of me being single, I went on dating apps and I met people I never met before, and I spent time with them. And this part of my life while I was actively in addiction, while I was actively in my active illness and insanity, my inner malady, that part of my life brought me the most of guilt and shame that I still till day now am releasing. And yesterday morning I was sitting in that old emotion and I was facing it from this new wholeness energy on a much deeper level. So let me reassure you, you cleansing and healing your energy has nothing to do with you lowering your energy and everything to do with you expanding in your wholeness and magnificence. Obviously, I have tools like nervous system regulation, emotional intelligence, support, mentorship, and love, and so much wisdom through the accumulation of the practices I did so far. So right away, I knew what to do with it. And I will guide you also in the right time and space, in the right container, if you will decide to go on with me on this journey. Now, in the first year and a half, I was searching outside of myself the fulfillment of the internal lack. I didn't knew I have within me everything it takes because of also the accumulation of pain and unworthiness and not good enoughness and rejection and feeling inadequate that I carried through my life. So on the top of the beautiful, divine, and magnificent love that you have also within you, the unconditional love, the magnificence, the bliss, the joy that it is within you. Perhaps also right now or in the past, there is a layer of unworthiness, there is a layer of all the past, old heartbroken relationships and other types of relationships that created some kind of layer of fear, pain, unworthiness, some kind of protection zone, so your heart, that core of you, will not get hurt again. And when we put that layer, when we keep that layer, when we don't release the past, we also block the new from coming in. And I will talk in detail about that a little bit further on. Okay, so I felt hopeless. And when I was doing the stuff I was doing, the dating, one night stands, this is not what I was brought up to do. So I felt extreme amount of guilt and shame, and I was only pushing it down with more alcohol, more drugs, more isolation, more running away from feeling what's within me, more of making myself wrong. And the truth is I did nothing wrong. The truth is I did nothing wrong. The truth is that I was holding on to carried shame, passed on to me through other generations, and according to those beliefs, shoulds and shouldn'ts, according to others people unprocessed guilt and shame passed on to me, I made myself wrong in all of it. And yes, I end up in the places where I put myself in places to be hurt. I created an unhealthy environment for myself. I did all of that, and I was unable to deal with that responsibility. And the reason is that the responsibility part in ourselves can only be reached by feeling guilt and shame, our own, not the carried one. Carried one is to deal with and release, but our own guilt and shame shows us, oh my God, I went out of line. That's not with alignment with who I am. And I did a lot of work later on in my recovery, in my healing, in my expansion to release that stuff. And if there is something else on a deeper level, like happened yesterday, I allowed myself to deal with it. And I shared with someone super special to me. And I shared that with another person. And I allowed myself to remember that I am absolutely amazing and magnificent, and I am here and now, and I didn't knew any better in the past, and now I know, and I'm here to share that stuff with you. So this is the stuff that I felt like, oh my God, I cannot share that with you. I cannot share that with you. I felt so much guilt and shame for so long about it. How can I share that stuff? And here I am with a healed and wholeness energy, sharing with you that everything is possible. Every single level of healing is possible and available to you, only if you will allow yourself to receive the support that is required to do so. So After that year and a half, I went into full isolation. I'm not seeing anyone. I'm not getting anyone around me. It's just me in my own suffering, and I suffered in silence until I reached my solid rock bottom. And then everything changed because I've decided enough is enough. Everything has to change from the inside out and outside in. And I did exactly that. I asked for help. I humbled myself. I used all of the suggestions, and within months, everything changed. I became happy. I became so much more healthy. I stopped doing the things that were hurting and damaging my body, my mind, my soul, my psyche, my spirit, my bubbly soul. And I started experiencing like a rebirth. I started going through a soul cleansing process through releasing my past, through opening up to another person. Hey, listen, this is what I did, and I thought I'm gonna die if I will feel the guilt and shame of being that wounded, hurting person. And I didn't. It only felt like it. And then more and more release has happened in my life, and I stepped on a massive healing journey. And that 6.5 years of healing is the growth and progress I am absolutely unable to describe in one life, in one sentence. This is something I'm putting into programs and containers like one-on-one, into masterminds and hybrid experiences, because it is absolutely life-changing. It is my life's work. It is my passion. And this is what I came here to do and be. The wholeness version of me that keeps growing and expanding, and sharing with you how you can collapse the time of your healing, growth, and expansion, and collapse the time and space around you, creating, manifesting, and building what you desire the most. During those 6.5 years, I suffered big time from loneliness. And that was something that I didn't know how to overcome until years later I learned. So this is also a giant part of my journey. And this is how majority of people stay. They stay in this energy. They become a little bit happy through the loneliness, but they never truly hear the core of it, which is taking responsibility for how you relate to you in a crowd and next to another person. Okay, so this is something for like a huge big dive into for another time. So I felt really like hopeless, helpless, like maybe we will never find anyone. And during those 6.5 years, I went on 2 dates. First date, when I arrived by the car and I saw that person walking, I already knew this is a mistake. I don't want to do it. I was still on a people-pleasing side. I was still unable to speak up for myself. I was still not fully in my power. So I didn't even know how to say, I actually don't want to do it. I changed my mind. Why even have I done this? So I went on a date. After that, I said, listen, I don't know. I don't know. And I think that person got the memo. Or not. I think they did. And then maybe 2 years later, 2.5 years later, I went on another date. And this is where the stuff within me were just bubbling up to the surface. That was not for me. And right away after that, I could see there is something not okay here. I had at that time in my life someone very phenomenal who helped me see, Eliza, perhaps this is codependence, because the way you are feeling right now is not healthy. It is not okay. And there is something here for you perhaps to look into. And she couldn't be any more right. I couldn't be any more grateful for that. And I went into a massive codependence healing bubble where it was very few people around me. And I allowed myself to stay there as long as I needed. And that was since around the end of September into April the next year. That codependence healing bubble changed my whole life. I invested everything I've got into that healing. My time, my money, my energy, my focus, my love, everything went into me. And that's what created unshakable foundation for future phenomenal, healthy, loving, beautiful, healthy relationships. So at that time, I was already creating phenomenal friendships, phenomenal pals, and a great amount of people around me. And I was puzzled, how come that one person, the one, is not showing up in my life? And I felt like maybe there is something wrong with me. Maybe there is something missing. Maybe there is something I am missing out on. Did you felt like that? Did you felt this way? Because this is exactly how I felt. How come I have these amazing relationships in my life? How come I feel so awesome about me? How come I am this healthy, phenomenal, empowered Eliza, but the one is not on the radar? And all I see is, no, oh, please don't touch me, don't come close. And what the heck is going on? Little did I know how much more work and going in depth and surrendering what I think I know I had to do. And this is a huge part of my healing that I also am putting very quickly, shortly, in a super phenomenal 3-week master hybrid experience. So if this is something you want to be a part of, if you want to meet your soul love, oh my God, you cannot miss out on that if you truly deeply love yourself. So I was puzzled why that was this way. And me allowing myself to go deeper inwards instead of searching outwards helped to change my whole approach towards it. So I want to touch on with you, okay, let me just quickly share it, that the deeper I was going, the faster things were manifesting. And then it came time when I fully and entirely detached from meeting my soul love. I went into the deepest possible healing. I felt connection. There is this soul love somewhere there for me. And I could feel that soul. I literally connected with that soul. That soul came to me in my nighttime meditation, sat next to me like a monk. I could see this person past lives as a monk. I could see this person like a figure, like a body. I knew it wasn't tall. I knew that it came for me. I knew this connection. It set my Kundalini on fire. And in the 3rd session, I asked this person, what is your name? It started with A. It started with A, and I knew it. It wasn't Andrew. It was something like Andrew, but it wasn't Andrew. You know now I'm married to Andrea, right? And I asked, how will I ever meet you? How will I meet you? And I heard Dr. Joe Dispenza. So if you don't know, I met Andrea inside of Facebook group called Dr. Joe Dispenza Students, or one of these groups, the big one, the giant one. And it's not Andrea, it's Andrea. So that soul came to me in days 14, 15, and 16, or 15, 16, and 17, middle of April of 2020. And I met Andrea after I went through the next few months through a massive internal healing and shift. About a month before my birthday, I've decided, okay, I'm done. Because a year before, I decided I will be in low frequency with that person around me or without. And I knew that soul is somewhere in my field, but I didn't know if that soul is in a human body or I'm going to meet this person in another life. That's how deep was the knowing and connection, because I allowed myself to go that deep into my intuition, to meditate every single day for 4 or 5 hours a day. And not be like, oh no, 4 hours of meditation a day, that's too much. No, if you truly desire what you are called to experience, okay? Question again, how free do you want to be, right? How much do you invest into yourself and creating, manifesting, and building from the inside out, not the outside in? Please come and fix me. So, and I met Andrea about 2 months after I went through in-depth healing. And I've decided I'm okay to staying on my own for the rest of this life. I'm done with searching, looking, or this. A month later, I went into massive deep nervous system regulation. 5 weeks healing, 5 weeks journey of nervous system regulation. And I received a message. You cannot go any further on your own. That's it. Now it is time for you to step and be around people and receive help and support. The first person that jumped out of Facebook that I opened in Dr. Joe Dispenza group was Andrea, and I knew it right away. And it took me 3 days of kind of internal mental slightly battle between me, because I knew it, my family members that is conditioned through Catholicism will never ever ever be like, yeah, ooh, I'm so happy for you, Eliza, awesome, I cannot wait to meet your girlfriend, okay? Your girlfriend or your lover. That's not the case. Never was. It didn't happen. And that's okay. They are where they are, and I love them beyond, because I'm choosing that for myself. I'm choosing to be in this energy, but obviously also I'm not allowing anyone to hurt me, and I'm not disregarding if someone is out of line. Okay, that's a beautiful balance of healthy, loving boundaries, and also knowing my worth, knowing my power. And this is the stuff I love to teach you. This is stuff I love to show you, how to step into your power, how to no longer, never again be a doormat for anyone, how to be in your energy, but in the same time, be soft in some shape and form, be open to that something that it is different and new, that perhaps never crossed your mind. Oh wow, because I started journaling he/she in my journal for months, if not years, before I met Andrea, because I opened up to the idea, what if that soul looks different than I've been conditioned to believe it should, the relationship I should be in, and everything changed after that, but that's a story for another time. And me and Andrea met a few months later in Mexico City, in the times of restriction and no flights and all of that. I still made it happen. I actually created the life for myself that I was able to afford unexpected and expensive and amazing, random, adventurous travel. Because this is what I desire. I wanted to be available. I didn't state that my soul love has to be in a 5-mile radius from me, because I cannot leave my home and I don't like to sleep in hotel beds. No, I was open for a whole wide world. I didn't care. Is it on Mars? Is it on Moon? Or is it on across the Atlantic? When Andrea was in Florida, I was in Scotland. A few months later, 4 or 5 months later, of us being in a committed, long distance relationship, which became very painful. Also very loving, very amazing, and also very painful. We met in Mexico City, and a year and 10 days after we committed online, while we created everything long distance first, 1 year and 10 days later we got married. Just 14 days ago we celebrated 2 years anniversary of us getting married. This is our wedding ring. And we went to Sedona. We went into one of the most beautiful adventure through the vortexes, experiencing the energies, and oh my goodness, because we choose to grow together, not apart. And also we love our time when we are focused on our own businesses, our own soul mission businesses, our own hobbies. Andrea is going away and drives far away for her ball games, kickball games and all that stuff. I do my other things, and it is so healthy and amazing, and it is not perfect, and the growth is continuous. The strength, the growth, the trust, it only grows and expands. And they are challenging moments, and there will be more of them, and we're okay with that, and we still choose to recommit to love each other and one another through this journey. So I wanted to share with you the biggest mistakes people do when they create or desire to create soul love relationship, whether it comes to meeting that person, before meeting, during the meeting, and after meeting that person. So I want you to, with an open heart, without taking things personally, but also by taking full responsibility for yourself, take a note like, oh shoot, maybe this is what I'm doing, and my ego and pride is not allowing me to see it, because this is where I was, and I don't want you to stay stuck. I want you to meet your soul love before the December. Who knows? Maybe you will meet that person before the 14th of February if this is what you desire. 14th of February never been my desire, never been my favorite day. Never, never. Okay, so here it is. Now, the biggest mistakes that people do when creating soul love relationships, or when they desire to do it. And I'll be talking about actions and the energies from which those actions come which can only recreate the past, the wounded past, the past that doesn't work, the past that you have been in and don't desire. Let me just remind you again, this is for those who desire to create the relationship, the best relationship of your life. Not just any relationship, because when I was during the time of being single, I could have any relationship. I could have any relationship. I was not interested. I was only interested in the highest frequency relationship. And little did I knew, I had to level up my frequency. Okay, loves. So let me just start. Making another person their higher power. Codependence. This is the most common, and is the most people is entirely blinded to it. How can you know if you make another person your higher power? All you think about is what they think. All you think about is how can you please them. If you are about to make a decision, if it is your clothing, the most important is are you gonna please them? Is this something that you will be more desired? The root of it is seeking fulfillment, validation from that person instead of doing that for yourself. So that's the core of codependence. I'm not saying you're codependent, but we all have codependent tendencies here and there. We all have codependent patterns. And if you can catch yourself doing them or repeating them, if you can even look back at your relationship, is that looks like your past relationship, there is a 99.99% chance that this is the energy you're operating from right now while you're creating your soul love, your next best relationship, if you didn't done in-depth work on that so far. So if you're making another person your higher power, what they think is more important, which food they want to choose is more important, how can you impress them instead of being you, being in your wholeness, being in your magnificence, oozing out your qualities, your side of your soul mission, authenticity. If you're not in your authenticity, which is the highest frequency on the planet right now, because it is the most desirable, because it is the least amount of people is actually authentic, their soul love. Most of people is, okay, which way can I be seen? Which way is gonna sell? Which way is gonna seem more sexy? And how can I do this and that to get this and that in return? Okay, so it's very manipulative at its core, but we don't see that. We just think, oh, I'm so scared about what they think of me. I hope they like me. Do you like you? Because that's the questions I needed to ask myself, but in depth. Okay, loves, another biggest mistake is not healing the past, which is then obviously the root of codependent patterns and tendencies. Not healing the past, that it is trapped in the body. So as I just mentioned a moment before, all the past relationships, all of the past broken hearts, disappointment, betrayals, all of those moments when you felt rejected, when even someone did that, like for me, that was so hurtful. When anyone did that to me in any shape and form, especially girls in a company, like in a group environment, that was so soul crushing to me. I was just unable to process it, and I would only push that heart down. And that affected all of my other relationships in my life. That affected me not being able to trust myself and another human being. Like, how did I end up in that company again? Little did I knew that frequency was trapped within my body, and it was only recreating more of it. So I could train myself on my healing journey to bypass those signals and maybe not take it personally, but it didn't change the fact that in depth I felt like that, and I kept on recreating that. So until you are healing your past out of your physical body, out of your nervous system, out of your energy field, and out of your emotional field, things will only be repeated with just different faces, different names, maybe in a different parts of the world, the way I did. Okay, another biggest mistake is making like a number one mission and priority to seek in that person their blind spot, to find out if they will not turn out to be like someone from your past again, and maybe they have some dark secret. Maybe they're alcoholic and you didn't notice yet because they behaved with their drink on that second date with you. Maybe you're looking, maybe they're messaging their ex, right? So if you are mostly focused on seeking of their blind spots, What is wrong with them? Is there something here? You are already doing this. Hi, beautiful, hi. You're already here doing this from wounded energies. So you're doing everything here upside down, because your main focus to create soul love relationship is to go inwards and uncover your own shadows, shine the light of them on them, fall in love with yourself, with your shadows, with your light and everything in between, and master your energy so your shadows doesn't drives you blindly into repeating same old. Okay, so your focus goes entirely inwards, and that's what creates this unshakable, phenomenal, like a intuition on a whole another 5 bazillion gazillion level, where you simply talk to someone for a second and you just simply know, oh wow, this is not for me. Oh, this sound looks a little bit fishy. Let me get the heck out of here right now, okay? So your intuition is your guide. You don't have to trust another person. The only thing you have to trust is your own voice, that it's telling you, get yourself out of here, of this is the person to look into, or this is the relationship that will only supposed to support you in bringing trauma up and out, not a lasting relationship. So another part of it, another biggest mistake I see. Let me know, guys, if that makes sense. Let me know if that's landing, and let me know which one is the one that is like, OMG, I'm doing that right now, and that's exactly why I am not in the relationship I desire. Okay, not fulfilling your own needs, dreams and desires, and already unconsciously or consciously charging another person with it. So before you even met that person, you already have expectations of them fulfilling in any shape and form your needs, wants, desires, requirements, and all of that. Okay, they're supposed to take out the rubbish out of the bin every single Tuesday and take the bin to the street so the rubbish truck can come and pick it up. You already expect them to open the door for you. It's a totally different story with preferences. It's a totally different story with knowing what you want and like. I'm not saying be open to anything. This is not what I'm saying. Releasing all from the body. Yes. What I'm saying is that expecting them to make you happy. Expecting them to be okay with your outbursts of old unprocessed energies when you are on your month cycle. There is just so much over there that I had to look into, and I didn't know until I entirely changed the perception of who is that person should be, how they will look like, how they will behave towards me, what they're gonna say. When I started releasing them entirely, you're entirely free, go away, you're entirely free, I'm happy on my own. And then I started creating a new idea from a healed energy. What is the highest frequency that I can step into? How would that look like in a relationship? Tell me, higher power, tell me my soul, tell me my heart. And this is what started changing everything for me. This is when I realized, oh my God, I already expected from them to cover up for my bills if I cannot, to do this, just huge amount of stuff. And that was, I was absolutely blind, entirely blind to it. And that's okay. When I raised my frequency, I started seeing what I couldn't see earlier. Okay, taking things super personally. Okay, that's another thing. I was super oversensitive, but in an unhealthy way. I'm still beyond sensitive person, but I choose to stay sensitive. I choose to stay moved and touched with tears and with laughter by many different things, because this is a part of my unique soul expression. This is who I came here to be. Apologies, guys. I need a tissue. Can you pass me one, please? And I'll be with you in a moment. That's what happens in those long-term lives. Hi, Sherian. Hello. Okay, I'll be with you in just one moment. Oh, Andrea passed me a box of tissue and a giant kiss. So, see, there was no expectation, and okay, there is just so much that I'm putting into this training. So if you feel like, okay, let me break this down for 2 parts and then soak it up and journal it out, do exactly that. Hello, 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 loves. Okay, so another one was that taking things super personally. When I started learning that another person, doesn't matter who that is, will just simply keep on expressing who they are, and that has nothing to very little to do with who I am, and I stopped taking things personally, everything in my relationship started calming down and soothing. Because at the beginning, I was taking things very personally. And that was definitely taking away the peace. Okay, so I had to look into myself and see, oh my goodness, some of these codependent patterns came up, because there is amount of work you will do before you meet that soul love. But then when you are inside of it, that's a whole another journey. Now you're gonna see things coming up that you perhaps didn't see before. And you're like, oh my God, I am my mom. I am my dad. Oh no, right? How can I change it? Let's do inner work again on a much deeper level. Okay, another thing, second last, the biggest mistakes people do when creating their soul love relationships or preparing for them. I cannot read my own writing. Not accepting the evolution and the seasons and the expansion before, during, and after the relationships. Okay, I'm gonna give you a simple example. Honeymoon period. Some people will stay, some couples will stay in that honeymoon period perhaps for the rest of the relationship. I don't know a relationship like that. I do not. Myself, maybe you know, I'm not here to limit you or tell you what's not possible or possible for you, because everything is possible. But in my specific soul of relationship, accepting the transition from honeymoon period into more matured relationship, where more and more trust and love, because at the beginning that honeymoon is lots of insecurity. I don't know what they say. And it's exciting and it's phenomenal and it's scary and it's exciting and it's both. And then that turns into something much more mature. But living with that kind of like a fantasy, my relationship should look like this way, the sex life should look like this way, and how often we talk and how long we're holding each other's hands and all of that. I'm not saying be okay with your relationship dying. That's not what I'm saying, because there is a difference between transformation into a mature season of your relationship, and there is a also hurtful side of not letting go that the honeymoon period transitioned into something different. Because when you don't accept what is, you're unable to see its beauty. You're unable to see the security and passion and love that grew together with the maturity of that relationship. How much more fun you guys have, how much more aligned you guys are, how much more awesome it is to spend time together and apart. So that's another one. And the last one I'm gonna mention here, there is more, but the last one, the biggest mistakes is leaving in fear of being betrayed, living in fear of losing that person, living in fear of you not being in this relationship. Okay, and this is something I had to also myself release. Maybe you find out early in the relationship that another person has a diagnosis for something that it is life-threatening. Maybe you are feeling like, oh, I think they're looking at someone across neighbor or something, and they're sexy and handsome and young, whatever. If you are living in any shape and form in insecurity, in jealousy, in envy, and some kind of like a controlling, jealous, clinging, not feeling safe and secure in your relationship that you are in, that is not okay. It is not okay. You are destroying your nervous system. You are destroying yourself and the love you have ever had for yourself, and you are already in a dead relationship where there is no deep trust and connection, wholeness to wholeness. I'm okay without you, and I'm okay with you. We are being together, we only add up to each other. But you disappearing doesn't take away. Would I be sad? Would I be crying? Would I be going through a grieving process? Yes, 100,000 million%. But I know I will be okay. I know I will be okay, and I will keep on making myself happy, because it's my job to make myself happy. So this last one is something that it is often not seen when we simply are rushing through the things, are rushing through the day, rushing through creating your soul mission business, taking care of your children, 40 babies, relationship, taking care of yourself, your other family relations, your friendships, because then becomes a lot. Okay, and then I'm gonna mention another one that I didn't write down. The biggest mistakes is that your energy field doesn't have a space for that person, and that's often for people who have a family, like they have full-on occupied schedule. Okay, they have full-on occupied schedule, but it isn't about time. Time, energy, and money is one and the same thing. It is just an energy that you allow yourself to manage, create, use, invest in alignment with how high or low is your frequency, in alignment with how contracted is your nervous system or how open and expanded is your nervous system. So let's say you are a single mom of 3, like my mom. My mom brought us up as a single mom, and I was visiting my dad, who was living with his new family in another home. So my mom's whole world was us and her work and visiting her family and her parents. There was no space there for that another person, right? Maybe there was. I'm not here to analyze my mom or judge in any shape and form. But what I see and what I know for sure, there are women over here who are single moms who had to become mother and father, and their energy is overflowing with masculine and feminine, and there is no space. If you desire a man, masculine, healthy man in your life, who would also be a provider in some shape and form, who also would be in some shape or form provider, are you leaning into your feminine, or you are still fully in your masculine? Because trust me, when that masculine man is meeting a masculine woman, he's not interested. Nah, he probably wants a feminine woman in her power also, obviously, but the woman that has a space for him to step into his masculine in that relationship and having a dance, beautiful, phenomenal, passionate dance of masculine, feminine within his own energy and within the relationship, because every single one of us has a mix of masculine and feminine. Okay, most of people actually, going back to the second one, not healing your energies, don't go back to, they're actually married to their parents. Okay, this is a theory, not theory, but a whole teaching that comes from one of the books that Andrea introduced me to. And I don't remember the title of the book, but it talks about a person being married to their dad or mom, in the meaning of that's where they spend their time with. That's where their whole energy is occupied. Their energy is not occupied. I'm open to meeting a whole new person. It is logical, but it isn't on an energetic and nervous system level. Okay, so if you are not going all in depth into, is there actually a space in my energy for that energy that I desire to come into my life? And lots of people also, going back to the second one, not healing your past and your energies out of your nervous system, out of your body, out of your energy field, which I described in one of my recent posts. So to go back to the last 5-10 posts and read it, because it is life-changing. Most of people are operating from wounded feminine, believing that's what will attract healthy masculine. Wounded feminine, oh, I'm a poor woman, I need to be saved, I don't know how to change the bulb in my lamp, oh, I don't know what am I going to do. And I've been in those energies in the past, and they didn't create it. Healthy, loving relationships. They attracted wounded masculine who needed to be fixed. And I needed to be fixed. And we were trying to fix one another, and it wasn't happening. And it was a huge, massive clash. Painful. Not healthy. Not good. Ew. Do not suggest that to anyone. And I'm grateful also for the lessons I have received from that, and I allowed myself to see them. So if you don't go actively into your past to actually learn from it to the core, without judging and shaming and wronging yourself, but just to learn what are the patterns that I have embodied that create those relationships I say I don't want, okay? Also, learning how do you create your singleship. How do you create your singleship? Staying single. The truth is that there is 8 billion people on the planet. And if you cannot find that one, you don't even have to go and search. If you believe that a person is not there, there's something within your own beliefs that blocks you from opening up a little bit wider to it. Okay, loves. One last bit before I go, because I got to go in 5 minutes. We got to finish. I have another Zoom, and after that I have right another Zoom. And I'm so happy to be here with you today. Let me know in comments which aspect goes the deepest for you, which one is the most important for you to handle right away. And I'm going to share with you what I did, what was the biggest impact I did, and that was doing inner work, going all in instead of buying a new lipstick and buying another push-up bra and pumping up my lips, because that's what's gonna create this and attract this high frequency relationship. Nope. Inner work, my own magnetism, changing my energy into healed divine feminine instead of wounded feminine, and me in my specific case allowing myself to express the masculine within me, because I have a big chunk of masculine that I learned to love and I was conditioned to suppress and push it away because I shouldn't be that boyish. And I love to be boyish today, and I love when these two energies, masculine and feminine, interwoven and are being expressed through me every single day. Okay, nervous system regulation. If you want to regulate your nervous system, you will only be recreating same old relationships, whether you are aware of it or not. What's embedded in your nervous system is expressed in your life. So if those old traumas, old pain has not been released out of your nervous system, you will only recreate the old. Because your nervous system is so highly intelligent, it wants you to have another exactly similar or exactly the same situation, so you can find a new adaptive way of dealing with it, so your intelligence can go up. So you can choose in between parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system when you are choosing yourself to operate in between them. Emotional intelligence, that's another one. How would you feel if your soul love on every single moon cycle will be crazy and psycho on you because they don't know how to deal with their emotions? Okay, you would be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna head out. I don't have to settle for that. I'm definitely worthy of the best. Okay, so if you desire another wholeness, you better step up into your wholeness, and trust me, you can. Emotional intelligence is absolutely crucial. Master your energy. Become the one in your life who gives herself all you desire, instead of searching for someone that will do that for you. Everything is gonna change for you. And then when you are in your wholeness, you magnetize another wholeness into your life. That's a whole different game. That's a whole different story. And I'm not talking here about perfection. None of that has anything to do with perfection. We're all humans. We will always stay as humans in these lives, in these bodies. And including a human part in it is crucial. But don't settle for less because you didn't done inner work of believing in yourself and loving yourself enough. And also creating a crystal clear clarity on that highest frequency relationship and its qualities, what's acceptable, what's unacceptable. That doesn't have anything to do with putting walls around you. And this is the thing that I would need to teach you in person, in a Zoom session, how to do it, how not to do it, because this is where most people do a little boo-boo, an issue, and are missing the point. Okay, loves, I'm gonna finish with that. One last announcement. Let me know how it landed for you. Share with me in the comments, how is that actually going into your nervous system right now and into your heart? I wish you nothing but the best, and I know that your soul love is waiting for you in this specific frequency. If I would meet Andrea 3 years Ariel, we will be two codependent people killing each other. We met after doing this amazing work apart and then doing it together, and now keep on continuing doing that work together. What is happening in 2.5 weeks, which I am so excited about, is that I am opening right now the doors to the one. The one is a 3 weeks master hybrid experience where I will teach you how to heal your energy, where I will teach you how to actually wire into your nervous system your soul love frequency so you can become the one in your life with your soul love or without, and also healing, creating and manifesting and building the most desirable relationship in your life. At the moment, for the next 48 hours only, I'm hosting this very ridiculous pre-sale to this beautiful offer. And it is $111. The link is attached over here. You can book your spot. The link is only active for next 48 hours. After that, the price goes up to 222 and then 333. And then we close the door and we are starting that active experience. Together, we will be breathing, meditating, healing, releasing, having fun, dancing. I will teach you how to fall in love with yourself, how to level up your frequency in just 3 weeks, and that could be the most revolutionary 3 weeks out of the whole year. And after that, you will create that by yourself for yourself. Join us. Do not wait. Do not miss out on the pre-sale. And if you have any questions, send me a private message, and I will see you soon.